Welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is Chris Gault, Healthy Living with Chris Gault, and we are on week 7 of our trip across the country, and we are on, what's it called?
Fish Creek Trail.
Fish Creek Trail. It's a pretty tough hike. It's actually rated hard, but we're going to give it a try. So the mountain in the back, basically we're going to be scaling that mountain in the back there, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's rock scrambling, a lot of it, and it's very steep climbing, but we'll have fun, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, so this is a mountain squirrel eating a snake that we found on the path. We thought it was pretty interesting, so we thought we'd take a quick clip of it. So on our climb, there's a beautiful waterfall that you can see in the back, and I'll show you a little better in a minute. So here we are now at the bottom of the waterfall. So we were just up there. We hiked ourselves down here. You can see that. Now we're gonna take the trail back up, but there's a bigger mountain that we're gonna be climbing up, which should be a lot of fun. All right, so this is what the trail looks like. It's a little steep, but it's gonna get a lot steeper in a minute. So we're taking a little break on our way up the mountain. It's just a beautiful sight here, so I just wanted to show you the trail keeps going that way. So that's where we're going to be going, right, Robin?
Yeah.
See? And we're going to get to a second falls. So you saw the first falls that we were at. We're going to get to a second falls, and then we'll turn around and our hike will be over. I think the round trip is like 5 to 6 miles, somewhere in that range. So this is just a little mini stream here. Sounds very peaceful though. And it comes down here off the bridge that we're standing on. We're standing on this bridge. There's Robin again, standing on the bridge, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
There's Chris.
Yep. So
On the bridge.
we're just having a good time looking around, and so this is a little challenging just to know where the path is, but I guess it's up the side of this little cliff. So we're just going to keep going up and we'll see where it takes us. Looks like up here someone's having fun stacking some rocks. So I was just going to show you that. This is what the view looks like so far. We just climbed from down there, and we're still heading up that way. So we made it to the falls. You can see them up there. And I just want to say one thing we did. It did take a lot of work. It was 2.5 miles up a mountain, climbing rocks. But the one thing is, you put the hard work in, you get the reward. And you can see that this view that we're looking at right now, you can't drive to it. You can't walk up to it. Well, you can walk up to it, but I mean, you can't just get here easily. You have to do the work to get the view. And it just shows you do the work, you get the goal, and it's just a great thing altogether. And here's another view of the waterfall. And again, you got to do the work to get to this point, but it was definitely worth it. So a little mountain chipmunk just came up to us, and I guess he's enjoying the view of the falls too. He's just kind of looking at us funny. It's amazing how weather can turn on you. It's gotten really windy up here and dark. You can see all the clouds, and we're making our way down the mountain. It's not going to be as much fun as it was earlier because it's a lot windier, but we'll make it down. Definitely got a lot windier up there. Well, when you are hiking, you never know what you're going to get. It's pouring out. It's lightning. We're stuck at a mountain, but we're making our way down slowly, and we'll survive this, but it's not as pleasant as it was coming up. Well, we got down the mountain. We're completely soaked. You can see it's still raining out a lot. And someone just asked when we came down the mountain, was it worth it? And I would say it was worth it. What do you think?
Yeah, it was worth it. It was just cold coming down, that's all.
Yeah, because it went from about 81 degrees when we first started off. When we first started the trip, it was 81 degrees, and when we came down the mountain, it's 54 degrees right now. So there was quite a change in temperature, and of course it was raining. So when you put cold and water together, that's not necessarily fun for anybody. But anyway, it was a great hike, great sightseeing, and we had a great time, right?
Yeah.
All right, live life, man. All right, so to reward ourselves from freezing up on the mountain today and coming down when it was raining out with the 52-degree weather, we went to a natural hot springs, and we are in the natural hot spring right now, and it has sulfur. It's actually a sulfur hot spring, and it actually feels very nice. The temperature of the water is like 106, somewhere in that range. Robin, what do you think? Is this better than coming down that mountain?
Yeah, it feels pretty good right now.
So we're going to enjoy this, and we will talk to you guys later. Here's just a quick shot of some of the water coming off the hot springs that we were just in. So it's very warm, sulfury water. So that's a little baby moose right there, and the mother's pretty close. I'm going to try to get a better shot. That's the mother moose right there. So there's the baby. There's the mommy. And we're just going to make sure, because they're moose, they're big animals, we're not going to get that close. And there you can see it again, Robin's right there. And you can see the mommy and the baby together. And I guess they're just feeding, hanging out. These are definitely very big animals though, so you want to keep your distance. There they go.
There, you got good photos out of that one, right? And now you're just getting more moose butt.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, now how do we drive out of here? They're at the road. There's our car. Just wanted to show you this. It's like a whole lot of nothing out here, except for land and some mountains, but that's about it. Even over there when you cross the street, just a lot of nothing out here. You can see over there, it's pretty far away, but there's a little beaver swimming in the pond over here, so I just thought I'd show you that. So on a run, I just wanted to film this. We got the moon on one side over a mountain, we got the sun setting over here, and we're running down this path, and now I got to catch up to Robin. But it's beautiful out here. So hopefully you can see the bald eagle right there on the lake, just sitting there. There's maybe a better shot of the bald eagle. So he looks kind of small on the video because I'm kind of far away because there's a lake here. But he's pretty big in real life, I can guarantee you that. Here's another view of the bald eagle. So I'm just trying to get the best view possible since I'm a little ways away. I don't want to scare him off.
So we're driving to dinner now from Granby to Fraser. We're going to meet Matt, and this is just our scenery as we're driving by, and the colors of the sun set already back there I think are just beautiful with the silhouette of the mountains in the back. So just wanted to share that with you. I am now.
All right, so we are heading out of Granby, and we're heading to Aspen, and I just thought this was pretty cool. We're on a cliff here, and there's a train track, you know, on a cliff down there too. I probably wouldn't want to be on that train because it looks like it would be pretty scary, but it just looks really cool, almost like out of Hogwarts or something. You can check that out. I think there's gonna be a little more up here, but that train is like right on the edge, and it just, I don't know, it just looks pretty cool. So our dog really wanted to get out of the car, and we found this nice little lake here, and I just wanted to show it to you.
Come on.
So we're just gonna look at this for a little while. I don't know where our dog went. We took her off the leash for a little while. She's someplace.
Come here, suckers.
But it's just beautiful out here. Snickers, where are you? There's our dog. She's running around. Maybe she's gonna take a little look at the water, but hopefully she won't get in because it's kind of, we don't want to go down there someplace. There's some water skiing going on the lake here. This is a beautiful lake. I'm not sure what the name of this place is, but I guess we'll find out. And there's Snickers, the wonder dog, running around. She's loving life right now. This is a really nice lake. So we're in Leadville, Colorado, and this is Floyd's of Leadville, which is CBD oil, and I guess this is the headquarters of it. I do know that they sell it at Fleet Feet Gaithersburg now. We didn't sell it when we owned it, but they sell it now there. So this looks like it's the headquarters. So it's kind of interesting that this is owned by Floyd Landis, the cyclist, and we're going to take a look inside. I'm just going to film it because this is kind of...
Or at least we didn't know about it.
Right.
And the people that bought our store from us, they never
Well, this is Independence Pass, and you can see it's pretty curvy and over a lot of steep cliffs up here, and we're getting kind of high up off the ground. So I'm just really paying attention to the road right now because I'm going to make sure that, you know, we don't make a sudden wrong turn here, because that would not be the place to do it. So we're at the top of Independence Pass, and it's the Continental Divide here too. So we're going to take a look around and see the view here. We'll show it to you. So we just walked up to the viewpoint of Independence Pass, and I just wanted to show it to you. It's an amazing view, so it was worth the drive up here. Pretty neat. All right, so we are in Aspen, and you can see that's where it's green now, but when the snow hits, then those trails become ski trails, but obviously there's no snow there right now. And there's a nice little area you can walk through down there, so we're going to take a look down there. We're in Colorado without seeing the dispensaries. They're all over the place here. But not sure what these guys are doing here, but I'm not going to go near them. So we're hiking the Ute Trail. This is right near Aspen, and supposedly it goes almost straight up. It's very steep, It's a 6-mile round trip hike, and when we get up to the top we'll show you what it looks like. So we're not long into the walk, but you can see we started way down there. I'm not sure if the camera's doing it justice, but this is a very steep climb, and so we've already come a long way up, and it's just going to continue to be up for 3 miles until we get to the top. Then it's going to be a steep decline all the way down. So physically it's hard to go up as you get tired, but then it's hard on the body coming down because you're hitting so hard. Anyway, show you guys later some more. So we had to get off the trail because Robin dropped her bag, and I'm down here gonna help her in a minute, give her a hand. You want to take my hand?
Not yet.
Okay. But so hopefully she'll be able to get back up to the path here, because it's very, very steep here. And you okay?
Yeah, so far. I'm going to try to go over where you are.
Okay. I'm going up the mountain a little bit. So you can come up that part, I think, once you get up. I would just say low. Usually it's not recommended to get off the path, but in this case we had to. All right, got that. You sure you don't want a hand?
I don't want to pull you down.
You won't pull me down.
You sure?
Yeah, just give me your hand. There you go. See, once she accepts help, it all works. All right, we'll see you guys on top of the mountain. That's where we're going. Well, crisis is averted, and we are headed back up the trail. So we're feeling good right now. So here's a little look of where we are. So you can see we've come a long way because we were all the way down at the bottom. And I don't know if you can tell from this, but that slope's very high, very steep in front of us. So we're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna hit it. We are getting really close to the rocks. They're right there, so we basically made it. So another successful trail walk, right, Robin?
Up. We have to get down.
Yeah, but pretty impressive climb, pretty impressive view. So I would recommend this climb for anybody if they're here. Called the Ute Trail, right near Aspen. All right, so here we are at the rock, and I'm going to show you around a little bit more. There's Robin. I'm going to wave, and I'm going to show you the view in a minute. So I don't know if you can see it. There's a gondola up there. That's where it goes, and that's the trail goes on. So we're going to see if we're going to do that. But this is a pretty impressive view up here. We're going to make a decision if we're going to keep going or not. So now we're coming down the mountain, and this is when I really wish I remembered to bring my trail running shoes, because I forgot them, and now I have my Mizuno Riders, which are great running shoes, but they're not necessarily great for coming down the mountain because it's a little slippery, but I'm going to do my best. Well, we did the work. We got down from the mountain. It was a lot of fun. It was a nice hike, and now we're rewarding ourselves with a nice lunch. You can see our spread here. This is at Meat and Cheese in Aspen. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. So we're at Maroon Bells, and I just want to show you a little bit of this. And we're going to wait for the sunset. It's supposed to be pretty nice. And there's some pretty tall mountains here. We're down here. But we're going to walk around, see what's here, and then we'll wait for the sunset to go, for the sun to go down below Maroon Bells. And this is in Colorado, outside, about 12 miles outside of Aspen. So behind me is Maroon Lake. You can see it right below the Maroon Bells. So I thought I'd show you that. So I just have to say this because I think it's a little crazy, but we just ran into a few hunters up here, and we found out that they can actually take out a gun right now and shoot a goat off of this mountain, but I'm not allowed to fly my drone up here. And I think there's something wrong with that. But anyway, those are the rules. I love this sign. It says the bull moose is agitated by the presence of people. So we're going to make sure we don't agitate any of these bull moose because they're pretty big. And we are people, so we got to make sure we don't agitate them. So we came across some animals on the side of the road. That's a llama. This is like a billy goat kind of thing. It's got some big horns on him. I'm going to see if I can get a better view of him. He's got some big horns on him. And there's some sheep or something. Those might be more llamas. And there's horses in the back there. You see the horses. So, yeah, most of them are llamas. Just thought this would be interesting because it was on the side of the road. These are a bunch of goats. But again, they're just domestic animals. But I thought I'd show them to you. All right, so we're going to Cathedral Lake Trail, and one of the crazy things is we're on this dirt, very rocky road driving to the trailhead, and like you can see there's mud and there's a lot of dips, and I hope we actually make it. We have our bikes on the back, and I'm just hoping that holds off because we don't know if the bikes are going to fall off the back of the car now. So hopefully this will be a good hike because getting to it is a little tough. All right, so we are going to start the Cathedral Trail. I think it's about a 5-mile hike round trip, and we'll show you the highlights. All right, just wanted to give you a little view of where we're at so far. We've already climbed a bit, and you can see down there where we started, but it is an incredibly beautiful day today. The sun is out, there's no clouds, it's a little cool, it's about 39 degrees, but it feels great. So here's a waterfall you can see in the back. Let me zoom in a little bit, and goes down there. So this is just part of it. You can see the mountains in the background. And we're going to continue going up. All right, so we're a little more than a mile into it.
Almost a mile and a half.
Almost a mile and a half. It's about 2.5 miles to the top. So we have about a mile to go before we ascend and come back down. And I'm just going to show you around a little bit. It is very steep. And I know some people might think that I'm spoiling the trail by showing you the highlights, but I guarantee you that the reality is much greater and grander than what you're seeing on the video. The video just doesn't do it 100% justice at all. But just want you to know, so if you ever are out here, this is a fantastic trail, and it's much more spectacular than what you're seeing right now. Anyway, let me show you around a little bit. So here's a waterfall. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to zoom back out, show you the mountains. And then again, I'm not sure if you could tell, but that's like straight up, and we just went straight up, so it's even more up. And I know that, you know, this takes a three-dimensional thing and makes it two-dimensional, but so you don't get the full effect. But you know, Robin's a lot higher than me right now, even though on the video it might not show that 100%. Anyway, we will check back with you guys later. So I just want to show that there's actually snow on our trail right here, and it's warmed up a bit. You know, I would say it might be in the high 50s, maybe 60 degrees right now, and yet there's snow up here, which is kind of interesting. But that's what the mountains are like. Well, on the trail we found ourselves on a bunch of rocks, and I'm also going to go over here. You see a bunch of rocks on our trail. That's where we're walking. So, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the surroundings. It's a pretty amazing view up here, and we still have a little ways to go, but probably a little more than a quarter of a mile left to go to get to the top. So we are taking a little rest. We had a little protein bar or meal replacement bar as our snack. We're almost at the lake, which is the final part of this. I'm just going to show you our view, right? Because it's a beautiful view, isn't it?
Yep.
So I'm going to show you the view of where we're having our snack. This is our view. Not a bad view for sitting down and having a snack. And I think the lake that we're headed to is over in that direction down there. So we might have a little bit of an uphill because we're going up that way, and then I think it goes back down. But it's just a beautiful day out and a beautiful scenery. So basically mountains, mountains, mountains. So you can see mountains way in the back there too. And this is where we are. This is the trail we just went through. Believe it or not, there's actually a trail through those rocks. And we're heading up that way, and it just gets steep, but we're gonna handle it. So now we actually have snow on the path, and a good amount of it. So it's amazing how quickly the climate changes as you go up the mountain, obviously. Well, if you're a little claustrophobic, you might have a hard time because the trail goes into these woods, like, and it opens up here a little bit more, but for a little while there you were being brushed by both sides of these bushes because the trail was so thin. We finally got across this river, and it's on a bunch of small rocks, so Robin's doing it now and I'll be right behind her. I just wanted to catch some of this on video. Anyway, so this is the lake. We made it. Just want to show it to you.
2 years ago. We were there like 4 days ago, and I saw on the news today that trail.
Okay, we're coming down the mountain now. We have to go over the stream again and the rocks, and so you can see us crossing that back. And what you don't want to do is fall in because the water is very, very cold up in the mountain. so we were very careful to make sure we didn't slip in and fall in there. But we were able to get through, as you can see, or you will see soon, that we make it to the other side okay.
That's the wobbly rock.
All right, so we had a great time at the lake. Now we're heading down the mountain. We did make a wrong turn, so we added an extra mile to our trip. So something that was supposed to be about 5 miles or so is going to be more like a little over 6. But we'll see you down the mountain. So we're only about a quarter of a mile away from being completely done with our hike today. We would have done a little over 6 miles when we're done. And so just wanted to say it was definitely a really nice hike. So I would recommend anyone coming out here, almost tripped there. I recommend anyone coming out here and doing this one. It was really nice. So we ended up doing about 6.67 miles. It should be about 5, but we took a wrong turn up there. But it's always good when you see your car, which is right behind us. And we're gonna go to lunch now and reward ourselves for the work we did today. So we are at Pine Creek Cookhouse, and this is where we're gonna eat lunch. Our table's right over there, and it's a beautiful view of the mountains. And this is our reward for hiking. This is a garden here, and this garden is an edible garden. So there's herbs, and it looks like lettuce right over there. A lot of lettuces, and just looks really, really nice. And so we are going to be eating, and there's a little lake over there, more mountains, but that's where we're going to be sitting over there. So this is the view from where we're sitting at our table. And this is our table. We haven't gotten our food yet, but just really a beautiful scenery here. And we're going to enjoy our lunch. So we came upon this truck and really hope it doesn't tip over, because that would be pretty bad. So this is pretty close to where we're going to go on our next hike. In fact, the trail is right inside those woods, and we're going to see what it's all about. All right, so we are at the trailhead of Midway Trail and Lost Man. So we're going to take this. This is right before you get to Independence Pass, which is what you take to get into Aspen. So in case you wanted to do this one, we'll show you the highlights, and enjoy. We also picked this one because it's dog friendly, and we have our dog with us today because we're switching hotel rooms. So she has no place to stay if we go on a hike. So you can see she's leading the trail right now and helping us get to where we need to get to. So because of a phone meeting we had to ditch the other trail and go on this one. It's right next to Lost Man. Still pretty, but it'll be a little faster because we got to be back by 5 o'clock in the room, and we're still about an hour away from the room in order to get service so we can have the business call. So we made it to a little lake here, and our dog is gonna take a little swim break. But this is what we're looking at. It's a great view. There are never-ending areas of just beautiful scenery. So there's a dam here that we're going to be walking over. And I hope our dog doesn't fall in, because that would not be good. Snickers, come over this way, Snicks. Let's go over to the orange. So just another interesting observation that I picked up while being out here. There's a lot of horse poop on the trails here, so you got to be a little careful about that. You want to make sure that you aren't stepping in it. But the interesting thing is I have to pick up after my dog, who's only 13 pounds, and maybe poops a gram. But people don't have to pick up their horse poop, which is like 5,000 times more than what the dog does. I just think that's a pretty interesting observation. You didn't want to go in, Snickers? A little pond there, but I guess she decided to change her mind. So we're done with our hike, and we're going to have a little lunch here, and then we're going to take off. Our dog is playing in the water, and I'll show you the lake in a second that she's playing in. And you have anything to add, Robin?
No, it's just very pretty out here.
Very pretty out here, and we'll see you guys in a little. There's our dog. There's the lake. You gonna play in the water? You playing in the water, Snickers? I'm gonna throw a little bit of bread in the pond to see if there's any fish coming. That bird almost took it. We'll see if any fish come after this thing. I guess the fish like some of this bread.
Look, they're gonna fight over it. There's a bunch of them. But he left it. So there's two that just...
So when you see a sign like this, a couple things start to enter your mind. One is, you don't want to be mauled by a bear. That would be bad, or attacked. But the other one would be, it'd be really cool to see a bear in the wilderness. And that's the one animal that seems to elude us. As you know, we've seen the moose, we've seen the elk, we've seen a bunch of other animals like the bald eagle, but we haven't been able to see a bear. So we're keeping our eyes peeled, and hopefully we'll come across one, but from a distance. Well, week 7 is in the books. We started off in Granby, Winter Park, and in Fraser. We stayed with our son for a little while. We finished up with that, and then we headed over to Aspen, Colorado, and we spent a few days there hiking around and just having a fantastic time. And next week you'll see where we go when we go into week 8 of our 4-month journey from Maryland to California. Our house is being built, and it won't be done until probably the end of November now or the beginning of December. So we are still on the road, and we are having a lot of fun, and you'll just have to watch the next one, week 8. You'll see we're going to do a lot of great stuff, and we'll show you the best of what we do. So until next week, I will see you. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up button, and also please subscribe and click on the notification button to get all this great content that's coming up every week. Thank you.